welcome to a very special episode of the Darren Report.
Oh, thank you.
Today's topic is historical games. By their very nature, video games can be quite literally about any topic at all, true or false, set in the past, present, or future. So why base a game on actual historical events when you could just as easily make something up? Because sometimes fact is far stranger and way more interesting than fiction. And it's quite possible to make games that are educational and fun. The trick is to give the player an incentive. For example, way back in the 1980s, there was the Oregon Trail. This game puts you in charge of a brave family of settlers heading west across the American wilderness in search of a new home. To win, you had to carefully manage your supplies and endure thievery and unpredictable weather. Many aspects of the game were unfair on purpose. Hunting for food was just about impossible, and you were always vulnerable to misfortune and disease. In the Oregon Trail, players learned just how tough it was to stay alive, back in the olden days. Sid Meier's Civilization is another great example of a game that gives you a real incentive to learn about history. You can only win if you grow your civilization, building up your science and commerce and culture, and your armies. Might makes right. You can only get ahead by mastering new technologies, the alphabet, the wheel, ironworking, and so on. With each new tech building on the last and giving your civ new power and abilities. Sid Meier's Colonization was similar to Civilization, but explored in much greater detail the way the old European powers colonized the Americas. Through games such as Total War and Europa Universalis, you can learn about the military strategies of historical battles and learn more about why the great empires of history rise and fall. Learning about history can be a lot of fun, but it's just as important as learning about maths or science, because if you don't know where you've been, how can you know where you're going? Remember, Spawnlings, if you don't learn from history, humanity is doomed to repeat it.
Oh dear.
And that's a wrap for the Darren Report. Back to you, Barjo and Hex.